Guys, if you haven't already, make sure to follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It helps us more than you could imagine. Some people don't understand, like, as a human, okay, you go into a restaurant. Here's one that I don't really like.
Yeah.
So I go into a restaurant or something, and I'll see a few kids staring at me. I'll just sit down, whatever, do my thing.
Yeah.
But that has now not ruined it, but it's reminded me for the entirety that I eat my meal, I'm being watched constantly. Like, so, you know, if you're a viewer right now and you're watching, okay, you know, you're not big on social media, whatever, all that kind of stuff. Imagine you go to a restaurant, you know, there's a group of maybe 5 kids. They're all there, and
not even kids, because like it's older people. Bro, we have people in their 20s.
This is just a recent one that was made of me.
Okay.
I'm just giving an example, but there's a group of people are watching you, and they see you, and you can tell they've looked at you. Maybe they're even taking a little side pic or a video, which normally does happen. And you are sat within the vicinity of them for the whole meal. You're going to be in there for an hour 30.
Yeah.
You are going to be looked at so much, and it's just a bit uncomfortable.
Mate, no, it's just to feel like, if anyone's had it, the feeling that you know where you just know like someone's looking at you, and you just, it's just a feeling that you have, and you just know that someone's staring. Imagine, you're just going out, dinner, you're doing whatever activity, whatever it is, and just know that someone's always watching and potentially filming everything that you're doing there, and it's so off-putting that it just ruins your time, because you can not think about it, but there's always that anxious feeling inside.
And we can't ask the people to not fucking look. You know, if you want to look, you can.
If someone famous walks through the door, even if it's me, I go, oh my god, that is XYZ.
Same.
But what I do try to do is not like look again, if that makes sense. Because
try your best.
Because they know.
Because So look, example, we're in a restaurant. Ronaldo walks in.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, fella. We're gonna look over.
You're going to look over and you're going to tap your mate on the shoulder. You go, that's fucking Ronaldo.
And I'll try not to look again, but I know I'll take another glance because, you know,
it's a weird one.
Ronaldo's what's in there. It is a weird situation. It's a tough situation. But it's
so hard to explain to people that don't actually go through it, because it just makes you sound like a fucking loser.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? But honestly, imagine the best way I can describe it is that people are staring at you, and you feel like you're being watched the whole time. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, it's true. I got a good story. So it's a similar situation, but it's a good story. I told you about this the other day. So I'm in a restaurant. It's a nice restaurant. It's called the Ivy in London.
Wonderful restaurant.
Lovely restaurant. And I've gone out with 3 friends, okay? And they're 3 girls, and they're all very, very good-looking girls. So we've had dinner, we've had lunch, whatever. And the bartender, the waitress, comes over, and she says, just to let you know, your meal has been paid for. And we're just all like, what? And this Ivy is, you know, it's not a cheap place.
No, it's an upmarket spot.
I'll probably be honest. The bill, we're probably looking at about £400 to £500 bill.
Yeah.
Okay, drinks, you know, expensive food,
£100 a head.
Yeah, probably £100 a person, right? And we're just sat there like, whoa. And they're like, yeah. And so the girls are like, oh, who did it? Like, we want to thank them. And it's like, and she's like, I can't say a thing. I've been sworn to secrecy. And we're like, oh, okay. So what we did was, right, we'll just have to leave. We were looking around trying to figure it out, couldn't really figure it out. We wrote a note that just said, thank you so much, random stranger. Thank you we wish we could thank you in person. We wish you happiness and joy, whatever.
Yeah.
Gave it to the waitress, and she, the guy that obviously paid for the meal was leaving before us because we stayed an extra 20 minutes. Yeah. So she realized she had to give it to him.
Yeah.
So he's gone outside. I look at her, see her walk outside, and I see her hand him a note. Random, maybe 30-year-old looking guy in a Hawaiian floral shirt. Don't recognize him. Now, my thought, first of all, was, does he see these 3 really beautiful girls and maybe he's trying to sugar daddy her? Yeah. He's trying to impress. But that doesn't make too much sense, because why would you want to stay anonymous?
Yeah. We got our own fella's mystery here, right? Let's figure this out.
No, we were trying to figure this out. I've been trying to figure this out for days. So that one I've kind of ruled out completely myself, unless you think that still could be a thing.
No, because the whole, like, ultimately, like, if you were trying to impress, because you were, like you said, with 3 good-looking girls, and ultimately if he was trying to impress them and almost, like, not make you look like a mug, but to almost, like, alpha you, then he wouldn't say, keep me anonymous. Yeah, because that doesn't make any sense. By the way,
I was meant to pay for that full meal.
Really? You were about to cop that bill?
So I will just say,
Thank
you, my man. Thank you.
The Hawaiian shirt floral, Donnie, you have done
it was
bits.
It was one of the girls' birthday. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I couldn't make the dinner, so I was like, let's go out for lunch.
Yeah.
When she said, the bill's been paid for, I was like,
you fucking legend.
Lord.
Anyways, so you ruled that one out.
So I ruled that
Sugar Daddy ruled out.
Sugar Daddy ruled out. Next thing I'm thinking is, okay, is this guy a Fellas fan? Has he seen me and been like, you know, I love the Fellas podcast, mysteries, whatever. I'd love to pay for his meal, and not say anything because he just is a fan that, you know, humble, doesn't want the credit for it, just wants to. So did
the waitress not give you, like, was it literally just all he said was it's been comped? Not even like, oh, she was like, the guy wanted to say he loves your work or
so wants to do a kind gesture for you, it's been paid for. Which leads me to my final one. Maybe it was just a genuine act of kindness by some rich guy, because this was in Ivy, Marylebone, Knightsbridge, somewhere like that.
A fancy part of London.
A very fancy part of London. So not only has he paid for his own meal, with his friend, because he was sat with someone else. He's nearly spent $1,000 in there probably.
Because on his own meal.
He's obviously a wealthy man.
Maybe like look, and a lot of people, you know, they come into money and they probably do make gestures like that, and they probably looked over, they saw young people sat at a table, and, you know, 500 quid or whatever to you guys is probably a lot more than 500 quid to the old rich white couple in the corner or whatever, you know what I mean? So look, if it is just a random act of kind of I hope there's more people like that, even not in like a monetary sense, because if you're genuinely doing that, like you're probably quite a good person, you know. So I thought that's sick.
Well, it made my day because I was the one that had to pay. So I was very
So shout out.
So if you're watching this by any chance, a random man from the Ivy, thank you very much.
What? So you reckon it was just a geezer in his 30s?
Yeah,
was he by himself or was he with someone?
He was with a friend. He was sat to our
on
left.
A date?
To our left. No, like I don't know. It could have been a date, but it was a guy friend. Looked like two guys just having dinner.
Because that was another thing. Like maybe in my head I was thinking, if he's on a date, is this like a flex on his part to show the other girl, the girl, or, you know, if he's on a date, maybe the guy, whatever. Like, look, I can pay for this table, but it doesn't sound like that.
Definitely no woman was sat there. But no, it was crazy. It never happened to me before that. That shit don't happen.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't happen. Maybe I'll do that one day. Well, it might be at McDonald's, but I will do it.
Maybe you should pass on that kindness.
Yeah, I think I should.
Have you heard about that sort of...
I think I should, right? I've done it. So I think when I next go to like somewhere similar, Ivy or...
I might fucking do that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Just pass on the kindness.
Yeah. I think I went afterwards when I was outside the restaurant. I was like, I want to do that now. Because I remember the feeling it made me feel. I was like,
That's
sick. It wasn't crazy like, oh my God, this has changed my life. But it was like, wow, that is someone else has taken their time to go out the way and pay for our meal, and not even take credit, nothing.
It's
very
fully
nice.
Anonymous.
It's like all them times where I see people giving stuff to the homeless, but they always film it on the phone.
Yeah.
Now, I guess they are spreading awareness when they do that, but at the same time,
I don't buy it.
Why don't you just give it to them and go?
Look, there's nothing wrong with, you know, you doing charity and filming it and showing that. But like, if you're doing it all the time, constantly, and then just trying to claim that you're like this really charitable person, like, I don't fucking buy it. The amount of the boys, there's also a great story about JJ helping out a friend who needed to pay rent.
Really?
And, you know, it's one of those things like JJ just helped the guy pay rent. It was what it was, not a peep of it. And then the guy eventually came out with the story. I think it was on Jack Mate's Happy Hour. It was a great podcast with a really good, like, that particular story I really liked. And I was just there like, those acts of kindness will get like infinite more respect from me. JJ didn't tweet out saying, I've just paid this guy's rent.
Nah, you don't need to.
And it's there like, when the story comes out, because let me tell you, if you do enough good things, like, good things will happen to you, and you'll get a recognition for being a good person. Like, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But if you're out there constantly trying to prove it, it's just like,
Nah, if you're constantly trying to prove it, it's just like,
an L, bro.
You're looking
for validation.
Yeah. Like, oh, I did this, but you only did it for that validation. Yeah. You know, just go and do it, and just do it, man.
No, I'm not slagging off people that, like, if I donate to a charity and you want to post a screenshot saying I donated, look, that can encourage a lot of people to go and do it.
I would say that.
But if it's constant, bro, if it's all the time you having to prove that you're some good person, it's just weird.
No, I think I agree with that. If you post it, you know, you post it. You're spreading a little bit of awareness, maybe for a certain cause, certain things, and whatever. Yeah. You do a charity race. Those are good as well. Yeah. But if you, like you said, like back in the day, was a bit of a trend on YouTube where people would constantly be doing videos where they were giving shit to homeless, but it's like you were just doing it for that video, and you're making like one a week. Like, okay, it's good, and I know the homeless people are benefiting, but at the same time, you're really you're leeching.
You're milking it.
You're milking it big time.
Yeah.